Good morning, lovely people. It is Monday, November 23rd. At about 9 o'clock in the morning, my training is at 10 a.m. Where my endocrinology office is about 20 to 25 minutes from my house. It's really near to my college, so I don't have too far to travel, so I was able to film my unboxing video this morning. But I am switching to the Tandem T-Cell Next 2 today. I did not stop my long-acting. What I did is I only took a partial dose. I took a little less than half of the dose that I would need. So it's only going to cover me up till about 10 a.m. when my training is. So my fasting blood sugar this morning was about 140 to 150. And the only reason why I did it that way is because I don't have my Dexcom right now. So I wouldn't be able to know if my blood sugar was 300 and check it, and give myself rapid acting to cover that. I wanted to be able to kind of sleep. So hopefully by the time I go to the training that my long acting is completely worn off. And by the way, I'm on Levemir, which is a little bit different than Glargine and has a little bit different way it acts. Again, I'm going to make more videos just explaining why I went, when I went back to shots, why I chose Levemir and not Glargine, or Levemir and not Lantus, or when I used to take it, it was called Basaglar. So I liked it a lot better. Different story for another day. But anyways, I've gotten that out of my system. Like I said, my fasting blood sugar this morning was 140. I don't have a Dexcom on, so I'm completely running on the old-fashioned nostalgic way of managing diabetes. I wouldn't even call it nostalgic, considering that not everybody has access to the tools and technology that can help manage diabetes, which is extremely sad. But I'm in my room right now, kneeling down. I do have, right down here, I do have my supplies here. So I have the user guide, I have the pump, infusion sets, cartridges, the control, IQ technology, like accessories for the pump, like the case and the charger and the thing to unlock the cartridge. So that is all set and ready to go. I do have to let my dog out before I leave, and I have to give my step uncle his medication this morning. My grandma did have hip surgery, and my mom is working, so I have to go deliver his medication. I have 100% permission to do this from my grandma. He has bipolar and mild schizophrenia, I believe, managed on medication. So I have to go ahead and give him that. He lives on his own, but then my grandma, again, is his caretaker and make sure he has food and he can cook for himself. He can clean his house himself, and he drives a motorcycle, so I mean, it's fine. So I have to go take care of him this morning. So I will do that, and then I will be on my way to get trained. This is kind of exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. And anyways, my hair is much shorter. I may put it in a ponytail. I'm not 100% sure, just to get it out of my face. And then I am going to Costco after to pick up some Dexcoms because my sensor failed at 12 days. I have my transmitter sitting over there. I'm going to grab that. And then we get new Dexcoms on, and then I have to pick up a few things at Costco anyways, and then I will continue filming for the day. So once I'm in my car and ready to go, I will continue on with the video. Got my hair in a ponytail, but I just realized I need a bag to put all this junk in. So I'm not showing you my closet because it's not the way I want it right now. But in kind of this part of my closet, I have a whole crap ton of, like, what would you call them? Like reusable bags? Yes, and I have a lot of stuff in my closet. Okay, I want a bag. Ow. Will this work? That's a hat. Okay. I guess I'm cleaning my room later. This is such an unattractive angle. Oh, I should have just reached right here, I guess. But... oh, never mind. I have some out in my car. But anyways, I'm going to have to clean that up after. So, I am going to go out to my car and grab a bag and let my dog out. And then, what the hell? I'm like out of it this morning. Like, I feel like this congestion is confusing me. I'm just never. Okay, I'm going to go out in my car and I'm going to grab, yes, that's a bear on the wall. I'm going to go ahead and grab a bag and let my dog out. That'll be good. I did want to show you. This is from 2 months of injections. This laundry bottle, which is 75 fluid ounces, is filled with needles. This is what micromanaging diabetes looks like with injections. So if that is 2 months, imagine if I did injections for a full year micromanaging. Like, that is 10 laundry bottles. 6 laundry bottles. I can't do math this morning. That is 6 laundry bottles full, 75 ounces worth of needles. Isn't that insane how much needles like we go through as a diabetic? Like, how many times have I injected myself, poked myself? Anyways, we're going to take Miss Susie up for a potty, and then we will be good to go. Do you want to say good morning? You want to say good morning? Hey, good morning. Well, you're not saying good morning. Okay. Anyway, she said good morning, and once I am on the road, I will film then. But I just wanted to say, like, hey, look at the Sharps container. Look how confused I am. Happy Monday. On the roll, ready to go. This is like, I don't know what to think. I'll be fine, but this is just like a whole new ball game for me, so we'll hang in there. I've been broken down from a pump before, but I'm hoping this will be much better than my previous one. So, anyways, maybe I can film a little bit of the road without unveiling too much of where I'm from. Exactly, to keep myself safe. But anyways, let's get on the road. I've made it to my appointment, or to the training. Again, it's on the back side of the hospital, like where I go get my endo stuff done. So I'll be in like that conference room again, kind of like I was with the Dash. So this will be interesting. I decided to do an in-person versus a virtual, number one, because neither one of us have COVID. Again, I would not put this person in jeopardy. Wearing a mask, like I said, is like the number one thing. The sun is at a high angle. Wearing a mask is a number one thing as far as like containing the spread and asymptomatic carriers. So say I'm asymptomatic or mild symptoms of COVID-19. By wearing a mask, I'm keeping all my sputum and junk to myself. So that way, if I do have the virus, I'm not going to pass it. So that's another reason why I did it. Number two, with my luck, something would happen with my internet or something of the sorts, or I'd have a question that I'd rather get answered in person. So Tandem does offer both in-person and apparently virtual training experiences, but I would just rather go in person. So here I am in person. Like I said, I'll be heading up soon, and I do have my Sharps container with me because it is full, and I am going to drop it off to the front side of the hospital. It's kind of like the front entryway to the ER. Please check with your local hospital or local agency that takes your Sharps and make sure you're still able to drop those off with COVID, but I can still do it here, even though here in Wisconsin, the hospital systems are absolutely overwhelmed with the amount of positive cases we've been having on a daily basis, and the amount of hospitalizations. So they just kind of like look at me when I go in, and I just say I'm dropping off Sharps, and then they're fine with it because obviously I'm wearing a mask. I'm not trying to get into the hospital system, and obviously I even couldn't go in knowing with COVID going on, like I couldn't even visit a family member in the hospital. Like when my grandma had her surgery, nope, there was no visitors. She was there for an entire day and overnight, and neither my mother, myself, my uncle, step uncle could not visit her. Like that's a no-no with COVID right now, is just to keep the amount of people going in and out to a bare minimum. But anyways, I'm going to check my blood sugar because it's been a little while. I don't know how high it is, how low it is. And if it's like above 180, I'll probably take a unit of insulin because like I said, I don't want to go without insulin too long. Because that long acting is just not going to cover me because I only did like a half a dose. But anyways, I've got all my stuff here. I do have a bottle of water. I'll probably drink a little bit of that before I go in because I'm thirsty. And I didn't eat breakfast this morning. Like I said, I normally eat breakfast. So actually, I should say this. I have gone without eating for quite some time as a diabetic. Now, like I said, I want to do more videos on this, but when I had the Omnipod, part of the reason why I got off of it as well is when I had such high blood sugars, I wasn't eating. Eating wasn't a priority. I actually am down 8 to 10 pounds from when I used to be as far as like a healthy weight, and Not saying my weight is unhealthy now, but I definitely am much thinner than I used to be. 8 to 10 pounds is significant for someone like myself who at her highest weight was like, or at her healthy weight was like 150 to 155. Now I range from like 140 to 145. So I'm significantly thinner, and I'm tall, so I really should not be losing any more weight. Not saying I don't look bad, but I definitely wish I had a little bit more on me. And my endocrinologist, I believe, told me I could be as high as 160 to 165 with my height. So I could even add more weight if I wanted. But that's like not my intent to like gain a bunch of weight. But to be eating again, and at least eating regularly, is good. And like obviously I would be losing weight, number one, because I'm not eating, but number two, the high blood sugars burn all your fat up. So like I lost a lot of my fat. So hopefully with this pump I'll be able to gain some weight back, and like not a ton of weight, but like gain a healthy amount back that I had lost. So anyways, I will check my blood sugar and I'll let you know what that is. Maybe I'll be able to prop this here. The way the sun is sitting this time of the year in this state, because it's kind of winter, it's kind of a pain in the rear to find things that are kind of fun. Also, there's like a bunch of people parked next to me and it's just awkward as heck to film. So maybe I will. You're kind of sitting like in between one part of my vehicle. So I'm gonna let you like sit there. I'm gonna see what my blood sugar's at. And then before I left, I had to hurry up and grab a vial, or a pack of insulin, a vial, because I have pens, but just in case she doesn't want, I have a leftover pen I want to use first, but just in case she'd rather me just start with the vial, is fine, and then I'll just use my pen at home for my first time feeling the pump. So now I have to go back to vials, which is fine. I have enough vials at home to last me, but then I'll probably end up seeing my endocrinologist at some point now again, considering that I'm on this new pump. So I'll probably end up seeing her sooner than my normal 4-month in February. So I'll probably still see her in February, but then I'll either see her probably December or January with this new pump as well. So we'll see. And like I said, this is such an enjoyable thing to finger prick and use shots the entire time. And like I said, it's really taught me to appreciate, like, hey, not all the time you get to have technology like this. So, for whatever reason, my pump is beeping. It is 9:45. I have a few minutes before I have to go in. So I still use my Gentile. I absolutely love it. We're going to see what my blood sugar's at. I'm at 204, which is better than I thought, but I jumped 60 points from a couple hours. So it's a little bit of the dawn effect plus my insulin wearing off. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a unit of rapid acting insulin to cover me for now. So I do have my pen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't know why I'm kind of like gonna miss the shots. I don't know. I guess I'm so old-fashioned. I don't know. Old-fashioned girl. And I wipe my belly, so I'm good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. That burned going in a little. And like I said, this is such an awkward filming angle because people are like staring, and I just, like, I'm not even that obvious like that I'm filming. I'm not conspicuously holding my phone way up high. But anyways, it's like 9:48 and my training's at 10, so I have a little time yet. I'm not gonna like head up there until like 9:50, 9:51 and then get checked in and then go in. So I don't remember what my training was last time. It was either 10 or 10:30, but again, this is a different company, so what does that matter? But I am just ready for a change, I guess. I don't know, like, I'm glad I'm doing this while I'm not in clinic right now, because I don't think I could handle training and learning a new gadget while being in school, and they understood that completely. So this will give me time to figure out if this is something that I'm interested in or not. Like I said, I'm not going to give up on it right away. I mean, I gave Omnipod 1.5 years, and it progressively did not get any better. I swear, like, their manufacturing went to hell or something just went down the tube with them. So I am just going to let nature take its course with this insulin pump and kind of roll with it as we go, I guess, right? So I will let you know when I'm done with my training. Wish me luck. I think it'll be fine. Like I said, it's not the point of getting set up on an insulin pump. It's the point of like, is this really going to make a difference in my life? I think it will. I need to have hope. I need to have faith and trust it. And then it's going to be hard to trust the process. And that was even what my endocrinologist told me. It's just going to be hard for me to trust the process again and gain trust again. Just because I haven't had really nothing but not so good experiences with an insulin pump. But I guess if all else fails, I know what does work, and it's injections. And if I have to continuously do that for the rest of my life, I choose life over death. So you know what? That's the case. That's the case. And like, I know this is such an unattractive angle, but number one of the sun, number two, I've got a million people watching me. So anyways, I will get back to you after I am trained. Your girl is officially on the Tandem T-Slim X2. Kind of a wild experience to be back on a pump. I feel better knowing all the capabilities this has, and I have to set up a new Dexcom because the old one was failed. So I've been basically doing nostalgic diabetes for a while. So I have insulin live and delivering in here. Once I get my Dexcom set up, Control IQ will be turned on, which is kind of nuts. And the idea behind it is to try to keep your blood sugars between 70 and 180. And like I said, now that I'm out of my second or third semester of clinic, I should be on the way to having more YouTube videos for you guys coming out. So, gosh, look at the sunlight reflecting through here. But anyways, I'm going to head to Costco, find a bathroom, and drop off these sharps because, yeah, there's a lot of these sharps to be dropped off here at the hospital. So anyways, I will update you guys when I'm in Costco, but this new pump is super cool. Hopefully here's to a new life for me and a new start and a better quality of life. So cheers, and I will talk to you guys later. Your girl just realized her prescription isn't ready for another hour and a half. So I figured I'd pop over to Target here on this side of town where I am by Costco and just poke around a little bit, see if I can walk my 216 down. I did not take a correction just because I told her, I said I was going to go ahead and like shop and stuff. So I have basal insulin being delivered anyway. But I am still like in shock that I have this as my pump. Like, this is mine. This is crazy. Like, I'm actively running insulin on this insulin pump. Like, this is crazy. This is like a surreal thing. And she said once you get your Dexcom running and Control IQ will be turned on, like apparently I'm gonna be blown away. Just like I said, the biggest thing for me is just letting the pump take the reins. To be honest with you, I've manually controlled for so long, it's gonna take a lot of, I don't even want to say effort, it's gonna take a lot of self-control to not be the one in control. Not saying everything's gonna be automatic, and not saying I'm gonna have days where they're gonna be out of whack blood sugars, but I have a feeling that I'm not going back to anything else beyond this pump, and I think my life has really changed, and it's going to change. So I probably will check my blood sugar just to see what I'm at. I don't feel super terrible. Again, I have congestion and stuff, and I did kind of tell her, like, hey, I haven't had a headache on and off. I've had congestion and no fever or anything like that. And she goes, I think you're fine. And obviously we wore masks when we were training, and she never really got super close to me, even like with anything, and she was super great. I did find it kind of funny that I did check my blood sugar, and the dose I'd taken beforehand basically covered my basal. So I told her, I said, okay, the half dose of basal I took wore off. I had left the alcohol prep pad on the table, and there was a little bit of garbage, and I thought, I'll pick it up or throw it in my bag at the end. And all of a sudden she goes to pick it up, and I'm like, you just touched an alcohol swab with blood on it. She goes, oh. I said, obviously I don't have anything that I can give you. I don't have HIV. I don't have HPV or any other bloodborne illness that I can give you that I'm aware of. So I said, I think you're fine, but just so you know, you picked up a bloody alcohol pad. And she goes, I don't care. I'm like, yeah, I said, but I work in dentistry, you work in healthcare. I said, you think universal precautions would be for me to handle it. But it was just kind of funny that she was just like picking up the trash, and I'm like, you just touched a bloody alcohol swab. It was mine. I say, like I said, you have nothing to worry about. Like I said, I have no sex partners. There you go. I unveiled it. I have no sex partners or any sexually transmitted diseases or any other bloodborne diseases that you could get from my blood. So I said, I think you're fine. But it was just kind of funny. So anyways, I'm at Target and I'm going to just go in here and peek around a little bit, but I don't know why. I'm just like in awe that this is mine. I have to get a case for it. Like I have the black case it came with and I have my purple case that came in the mail, but I haven't hooked it up yet. I will at some point. So I just have it in my jacket pocket because I wore leggings. Oops. I wore leggings, so I don't have a pants pocket, but I do have a jacket pocket I'm keeping it in. And it has like a button on it so it doesn't slide out, but it was really comfortable to put on. And honestly, somebody who's gone from a tubeless pump and shots to a tubed pump, and I basically experienced it all, but the Medtronic version of a pump, or some of you maybe have been on Animus if you were way back and have been diabetic for years more than me, and when Animus was out, you maybe have experienced the Animus insulin pumps. But for a girl who's seen it all and done it all at this point, I am extremely happy with this pump. It was painless to put on. The tubing doesn't even bother me. It's so lightweight. I don't even feel like I'm wearing tubing. And that's kind of crazy. I may feel it more maybe like if I'm sleeping, or I don't know if I roll on it or something. But to be honest with you, wearing the tubing, it's not bothering me. You think, rubbing up against your clothes or your belly, you'd feel it or something, but I don't even really feel it. And it's so lightweight. I don't even feel like this pump is any heavier with the insulin in it. I think we put like 130 units in for me. So that should cover everything I need. It's just a matter of getting my Dexcom fully set up so that I can start with Control IQ right away. And like I said, I hope to be delving more into how my experience is after my first week or two and do a video. Like I said, I'm back at it. Let's keep making YouTube videos and let's keep going here. So I'm going to hop in Target for a little bit and I will see you guys after. I probably won't film in there. Maybe I'll film a little bit in Costco just because I feel like the environment in Costco is a little different than Target, and I just don't need people staring at me. And obviously I need to respect other patients' privacy, or people's privacy, patients' privacy. Jeez, I think I'm in this like other world here. But anyways, yes, I need to respect my patients' privacy, but also other people's privacy and wishes in a store and stuff like that. As an FYI, if you haven't figured out how Irish I am, look at the macules on my face, or freckles. I'm using dental terms here. But look at this, like it's almost winter and my freckles are really standing out. This and this is this red dot and this red dot are old acne scars that are healing. We switched to N95 masks right before we finished our clinic level, and they kind of border right around your nose and under your eyes and around your chin and around your jaw. So I kind of had a little bit more of an acne breakout down here and one up here. And then I have this little like capillary that's busted under my eye. I've had that busted capillary for probably 11 or 12 years, and it's just been part of my body. But look how freckly my skin looks, and I'm like looking back at the filming and I'm like, damn girl, you got some freckles. So if you can't tell, I don't have Irish in my blood. Translucent eyelids, like, I mean, you can see the veins just pop out on my face. But anyways, I'll get back to you guys. But I just wanted to say, like, if you're like looking at my face and thinking, geez, she's got a lot of freckles, you're not mistaken. I'm highly Irish. I mean, my hair right now doesn't look it, but I have like a red blonde hair. It's kind of more of a blonde in this light. But anyways, if you wanted to know a little more about me, or if you just joined my channel, yes, I am very Irish, and yes, these freckles and these translucent eyelids are all mine. I am in the Costco parking lot now. I did buy a few things at Target, not a lot, but I figured today is the day to celebrate. So, fine. But anyways, I'm going to head into Costco. My prescription will be ready in about 20 minutes, but I'm going to pick up the other things in Costco that I need here. I buy the avocados from here because you get a big bag of them. So, and if any of you know, I'm like an avocado nut. Like, I eat so many avocados, it's not even funny. I probably need to cut back on the amount of avocados I eat, but they're healthy, so I mean, right. I have to pick up my sensors, and I'll be excited to get my Dexcom back on again and up and running with this Control IQ. And that's about it. I have to pick up some vitamin C and some allergy pills for my mom. I do take an allergy pill every now and again, but I don't take it regularly. I haven't tried anything with this like stuffy nose sinus congestion stuff. I've just kind of been dealing with it. And to be honest with you, I don't think allergy pills do jack for me, even when I do have allergies. So I just don't take them, but my mom does. So I'm going to pick her some of that up and some shampoo and we'll be good. And then I'm going to head home. And then, yeah, we'll see where the rest of the day goes. And I have a little bit of homework to do for online classes. And like I said, now that my clinic level is done for the semester, I really can just focus on online things. And it's been really nice. And I've been able to do some other things that I wanted to get done. So anyways, if I can film in Costco, I will. If not, I may not, just because, like I said, I'm not going to like respect or disrespect people's privacy. So anyways, I will get back to you guys after. Okay, have any of you ever seen peaches in syrup in a jar? The whole peaches. Like what the heck? Obviously I'm not gonna buy any, but it's like, holy crap. I've never seen peaches in a jar like that. I mean, like this I've seen, but like none like that. Weird. I got y'all up in my car now. There you go. There's a little bit of the red tone. But anyways, I got done with Costco, so that is complete. I have my Dexcoms here. I have one more stop to make for my grandma. She needs some Thanksgiving cards. Like I said, she had hip surgery, and I've just been kind of doing a lot of running with her, and I'm extremely worn. My headache is still here. I'm still extremely congested. Like I said, this has been going on for a while. So it leads me to believe I have some sort of virus, not COVID, but something else. But if it is COVID, like I said, I'm not really gonna freak out about it. But anyways, I'm gonna be driving and talking for a little bit. Like I said, I can't like directly look at you, and you probably only get to see half my face because of the way that my thing sits on. Yeah, it's kind of a lot better actually. The way that my thing sits on my actual, like, I have like a clip on my heating. It's Monday. I have a clip on one of the vents for my heater in like my car, kind of like on like the dash here, and I just got it super cheap somewhere, but I hope to get like a better car vlogging thing soon, and like something better, because like I said, vlogging is not really my thing. You probably can tell, like, I'm so much better and more articulate when I sit down and actually go through a process of thinking things through. But with vlogging, I'm just not quite up to snuff with that. So I figured, I just get like a little thing here and do some stuff with. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and drive now and get to my destination and kind of talk a little bit about everything. Like I said, this is just like surreal that I'm attached to this, like I'm attached to an insulin pump now. Gonna be interesting what goes on for the week and everything. But first of all, what I really wanted to talk about, I'm gonna start driving now, but anyways, what I wanted to talk about was COVID-19 a little bit. If you aren't aware, Wisconsin is a pretty high, here comes a vehicle. Wisconsin is an extremely high rate of COVID. We have thousands of cases a day, upwards of 6, 7, 5,000 cases a day, and it's absolutely awful. And our hospital systems are getting overwhelmed. Our healthcare workers are getting overwhelmed. There's just nothing. Sorry, it's probably like water on my brakes or something. I think I went through a puddle. But our healthcare workers are getting overwhelmed. Everybody is just getting overwhelmed with this COVID-19 stuff, and I definitely don't blame them. And like I said, I'm doing my part to do the best I can, and I'm not really going to any of my family for Thanksgiving other than my own household with my mom, basically. And I haven't been hanging out with friends. I am not one of these people that goes out and parties. I'm a very unusual 22-year-old in that aspect. I'm pretty mature as far as like what I do for fun and stuff. I'm pretty much stick to my schooling. I stick to home. I don't really do a lot of things. Number one, because I'm a broke college student. But number two, I also feel like, you know, it's not worth it to go out and party and stuff like that. I do more clean, fun things. So this is a message for all of you out in the state of Wisconsin. Like, you know, just be careful with COVID. Like, it's out there, and at some point, they say like 6% of our population has had tested positive for COVID-19. So it is out there, and at some point, we're all going to end up getting this virus. It's just a matter of when. And I think, like I said, I've had it, and I want to get a test for it, like an antibody test, and see. But I've been having to go over and help my grandma and stuff like that, and being in the high-risk dental hygiene environment. I've worn like a double mask. You know, I really don't get close to my grandma. I don't hug her. I don't kiss her. And you may think, well, Maddie, that's just wrong that you're not like hugging and kissing your grandma that you absolutely love to death. And, you know, I'm doing it to protect her. I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm not doing it to be rude. And she understands that completely. And if, you know, I end up getting her sick, it would like just break my heart, especially if she's more vulnerable having a hip surgery. Something that my pump trainer and I were kind of talking about, as my car is extremely noisy, it's old, was like our risk factors for COVID-19. And she even told me, even with my A1C at like 7.5, that I'm a pretty low risk, considering I'm young and I have no other comorbidities that could really put me at an increased risk of getting severe complications. It doesn't mean that I couldn't, but she said if you were to get it, you would probably survive it. And even more so now that you have this super well controlled blood sugars that are going to be on your pump now versus like having these kind of out of whack blood sugars and things. So that's kind of the scoop with COVID, and I take this virus very seriously, and you should too. And you know, if you're interacting with people outside your household, wear a mask. I mean, for God's sakes, I'm in my grandma's house and I wear a mask. And you probably know reasons why I haven't been on this channel a lot. Schooling has been a lot to do with it. Now that I have more free time, I can actually like sit down and film for you guys and talk a little bit about different things. So I'm gonna pass this person. Stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to coming back and just sitting down and sharing things with you. And I appreciate your patience, and I really appreciate the good, positive feedback I've gotten on this channel. And I'm still in awe that I've like have like almost 2,000 subscribers on this channel. Like, it's unbelievable to me how fast this channel has grown, and you know, where I've come as a person, as a type 1 diabetic, and just how I've grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started this channel like just 2 years ago, and to see how far I've come is absolutely incredible. To meet all you wonderful type 1 diabetic people and interact with you as diabuddies. Like, it's so cool that we're not alone in this, and we're all in this together. So I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate your understanding for me not being on this channel. But when you're in clinic 4 days a week, and you basically come home and you're exhausted every single day, and your blood sugars aren't doing well because all of a sudden, you know, your pump is not working, your cannula's kinked, you're not getting insulin in your body because your cannula is basically clogged or kinked and won't go under your skin, or something isn't right, the pump is bloody, X, Y, and Z. I had to make a switch to shots, and then I'm obviously back on now. I'm on a Tandem pump as of a few hours ago here. So I made quite a few transitions since the last time I've seen you, and obviously, you know, my hair is shorter. I cut it about a month ago, actually at a local hairstyle place that's like just down the road for me in my little rinky-dink town that I live in. So I got a cut, and I felt totally comfortable and safe doing it. And that's the thing with COVID, is like you gotta kind of judge your risks, and you gotta kind of, you know, pick and choose what works for you. And I gotta get over because this guy is just like pushing me to get over. And I hope I can get in the right lane to go to the right exit. So I don't know why that guy did that, because as a merging person, I'm ranting and raving about driving. He should have adjusted his speed, not me, but whatever. But with COVID, like I was saying, you got to take your risks and you got to take your rewards. So to me, it's not worth going out with people in my household that I don't really know right now. I'm hoping for a better future, and I certainly hope that, you know, that this vaccine is promising. I've seen a lot of good studies on it. I hope to be doing more videos, like I said, sitting down, going more in depth about COVID-19 and type 1 diabetes. I want to talk about my experience with Levemir. Like I said, I've got like a list of videos I want to do for you guys, and now that I have the time, I'm gonna probably just spend an entire day and just film like 350,000 videos, which means I'll have a crap ton of editing to do, but it'll be fine. So if you can't tell, I'm moving at a pretty fast speed. I'm on an expressway or a highway. I don't know what they call them by you. This highway I'm on in particular, you can go 70 miles per hour, which in kilometers, I have no idea what that is. Is it like 130 kilometers an hour, 120? I don't know. I'll convert it for y'all that basically don't use the same units as we do. United States, we use miles. I think most of the rest of the world uses kilometers. I don't 100% know. But I'm traveling the speed limit. I'm not a reckless driver. As you can tell, I want to talk to you guys, but I also don't want to just look at you and get in a car wreck. So if my face looks very unattractive, I apologize. But I'm almost to where I need to be. I've got maybe about another 10 minutes to get to this Dollar Tree or this dollar store that my grandma wants me to get at, and then I'll resume talking to you guys once I get there and get my things and get back on the road. Like I said, I'm about 20 minutes from home right now, which isn't super bad. It's pretty nice. And that's about my drive to campus, so it's pretty convenient, to be honest with you, even in wicked weather. Up here, we've had some unseasonably warm November, and it's kind of nice to not drive with snow right now. It's kind of nice to not deal with that. But pretty soon I'll have to be remembering how to drive in snow and ice, and just remember to slow down, which, I mean, obviously I haven't really gotten into too much trouble with like car accidents or anything. Last year I got rear-ended going to school because it was slippery. It was about this time, actually. This is pre-COVID, and I was doing 5 miles an hour going through a roundabout. Actually, it's coming up on the exit that I could take here. There's like a roundabout down and to the left, about a couple miles beyond here, and I was doing 5 miles an hour going through this roundabout, and I kind of ended up in like the middle wide portion of the roundabout, and the guy ahead of me said, "You weren't going fast, there's no reason you should have went into that middle part of the roundabout, but you did." And then he must have hit the same slick spot I did, because all of a sudden, before I knew it, he had bumped and rear-ended me. My car basically had no damage. His whole entire front end was all chipped up, but we let it go. Nicest guy ever. That's like really the only car wreck I've been in. The 6.5 years I've been a driver, I've been driving by myself for over 5 years, but in the 6.5 years of driving experience that I've had, I've never gotten into a major car wreck. Nothing like that. In my life for the past month and a half, it's basically just been school and sleep and some tears in between, dealing with this very, very hard to deal with autoimmune disease. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Type 1 diabetes sucks. And I know this light is probably driving you nuts, so I'm just going to hold my hand up here. Type 1 diabetes is absolutely a hard disease to manage. It is not for the faint of heart. And there are days where you want to give up, but don't give up. I mean, there are some days I've gone to school feeling like absolute garbage, and I've pulled out okay. Doesn't mean I want to continue to run with blood sugar stew to 300 and like have a burnt out kidney, but I thought it was kind of funny. I told my trainer today, I said, my A1C is at a 7.5, and I said, that's the highest it's been in 2.5 years. I said, prior to that, my A1C has always been 6.5 or less, except for my diagnosis. My A1C was 12.7. So basically, this is the highest my A1C's ever really been since diagnosis. It actually has been. So for you to have that well of control, you're going to do great things. You're not going to have complications. And I said, it's kind of funny. I said, at a 7.5 A1C, I feel like crap. And she was telling me about somebody who broke a record for her. And I believe, what did she tell me? The A1C was like 19 point something. And I said, wow. Like, I've heard of 15, 16. I'm not 100% sure. I think my cousin at one point in his diabetes journey got up to 17. No clue if that was a diagnosis A1C or not a whack one. But I had 19 or 19.6. Like, what kind of an average blood sugar is that? Because at a 12.7 when I was diagnosed, my average blood sugar would have been like 318. And again, I'll convert everything to millimoles. Now with an A1C of 7.5, my average blood sugar is like 168. Something like that. Because I know an A1C of 7 is like their ideal goal, or like your target of having like an average blood sugar less than like 152 or 150. So I don't really know how somebody can jack their A1C up that high. Like, you just not take insulin or what? Like, yikes. Like, I feel like garbage when my blood sugar's above like 160. And she was kind of funny. She talking to me. She's like, how in the heck did you manage having such a tight range? Didn't it drive you nuts? I said, oh, it drove me nuts, but I knew my health was so important, and I said, I want a family, I want to do so many different things with my life, and like, that's what kind of just drives me to go forward. And now that I have this pump, I'm going to have to learn to let the pump take the reins and just trust that I can keep that pretty tight range that I like. I have loosened up slightly. A lot of you used to know I kept like a 70 to 140 range. I now try to keep like a 70 to 150, 70 to 160. I'm totally comfortable with. Anything really above that, though, I don't really care for. Not saying I'm going to have a hissy fit if my blood sugar is 180, but not ideal. A non-diabetic really won't spike past like 180-ish. Depends on what they eat. I guess it depends on like if they eat something super sugary. I haven't really. I should test my non-diabetic family and just see what they get when they eat something super sugary, if their blood sugar just goes out of whack or whatever, or if it goes high and then drops. But their blood sugar will spike, but then it'll stay that high for at most maybe an hour, hour and a half, then it'll come down. Like, whereas with us, like, if our blood sugar sits high, it just doesn't come down unless we intervene. So I'm curious. I should like do a test on my mom or even my dad. Like, every time I've tested like anybody in my family who's not diabetic, it's like 90s, 80s, 120, and I'm like, jealous. Jealous. But I've gotten really not good non-diabetic blood sugars before, but as a diabetic, it takes control because our pancreas doesn't function. And it's sad, but it is what it is. And I'm going to take this disease and I'm going to run with it. This is the life I was given. And like I said, I don't think I'd be the person I am. I certainly wouldn't have this YouTube channel if I didn't have this disease. Not saying I would wish this disease to happen on anybody to just start a channel, but I felt kind of, I guess, impromptu to start this channel and just kind of motivated, inspired. I'm at a loss for words right now because I'm going through a roundabout. But that's kind of how I feel about it, and it's just kind of a neat thing to just go through and do a thing. So I am just gonna pull into the Dollar Tree now, so I'm super duper excited to get my grandma's cards and get out of here and go home. I'm ready to go home. So anyways, do you want me to do more car chats? Oh, that was like, did you hear that? That was like phlegm stuck in my throat. Oh, I definitely have something. It's just a matter of, I don't know if it's, I think it's a head cold. I'm not gonna think it's COVID, you know. And if it is COVID, I'll find out when I go donate blood. Like, let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this, because to be honest with you, this is the word Dollar Tree, I kind of like making vlogs. I just don't think I'm good at them. So I've arrived. I am going to go ahead and get my grandma her cards, and I will be back in. Yeah, if my car is extremely loud, there is definitely something going on with, like, I had the oil change and they said like, oh, you know, your car is like this weird rattle above 10 miles an hour. So if you heard that while I was driving, I apologize, but it's not the transmission. They think maybe it's like a plugged air filter or something else. My car has 211,000 miles on it. I've had this car since high school, so it's just been kind of been a beater car for me, and it's really a great, beautiful beater car. There's a lot of money invested in it, first of all. But number two, I don't have a car loan right now. I'm getting my jacket off because my car heat works well. I just had the heater core flushed again because it was plugged. But I just wanted to apologize for that noise if it's driving you crazy. My car is not going to fall apart. I promise you, this is a very safe vehicle. I wouldn't drive in a car that's like ready to completely fall apart at the wheels. But this is a vehicle that is almost as old as me. It is a 2000, more specifically a 2000 Ford Taurus, a very old blue Ford Taurus. But you know what? She drives, she works. So I'm not going to complain. The oil change is great. The only thing I said, they think maybe, well, actually, they might think it's the wheels, because I just had 2 wheels replaced and brought brand new tires. Not wheels, the tires. They think it may be the other 2 tires that are a little low on the tread that could be causing that kind of rattling sound. And for a while, actually, I needed new tires on the 2 that I had replaced like a year ago. Every time I would drive, it would be like my steering wheel would shake super bad, and I'm thinking, oh crap, there's something wrong with the steering. And then they recommend that I get all my fluids flushed at the next appointment. So that's what I'm gonna do. But anyways, I think I will cue the driving here and we'll continue on home. I am done for the day, other than basically homework and getting my Dexcom on and taking some insulin. I haven't taken anything yet just because of how much I've been running around, but my blood sugar's okay. I'm not that naughty with diabetic, guys, but I had a very busy, productive day, and I have a little bit more yet to do today. But thankful for what was done today, thankful for my new pump, and thankful for you guys supporting me. So that's just about it with my life. I will say I hope you are all doing well with this whole entire situation with COVID-19, and that you're staying healthy, and if you've had COVID, that you've been able to successfully recover from the virus and not to have too many complications from it. So that is my hope for you. I definitely know I have some sort of head cold or something, because I have a pounding headache again, and it's like one of these headaches that is like on and off, kind of annoying. Okay, that car is louder than mine. But I'll probably take some ibuprofen when I get home and see if that'll kind of calm that headache down. But you can kind of hear the rattling when I get above 10 miles an hour. It's like a I do have like the emissions, like weird looking light that's on that kind of looks like a little engine. You've probably seen it. I have that, what we call a dummy light, on in this car. So that, however, has been on since I've owned the vehicle, and I did get some testing done, and basically it's oxygen sensors that are broken, and there's really no reason to put them on unless I need to get emissions testing here in this state, or in this area of in my state. They don't do emissions testing up by me, so in the event that I would need that, then yes, I would need to have these oxygen sensors replaced. But in my situation, I don't need that, so that's why the emission light is on. Gas mileage wise in this vehicle, I get about 20 to 23 miles a gallon, which isn't bad for an old, beat up, crappy car. So I definitely will not complain about that. We have a dump truck ready to turn. And why does he not have a cover on? As long as I don't get a rock in my windshield, I'm cool with it. Speaking of, my mom had that happen to her one time back when I was like 13 or 14. She was driving in a very similar area I was. There was a dump truck that had uncovered gravel inside, and a rock hit her windshield and completely shattered it. So she had to, and the nice thing with the windshields now, when they shatter like a honeycomb, so that it doesn't like get you all cut up and stuff. Nothing landed on her, nothing cut her, but she basically had to drive with a broken windshield. And at the time, she called the insurance, and they had sent her over to company, I can't remember the name of it, I don't know, something glass, and they were able to place the shield or the windshield right away. So another thing to be careful for, especially in this state, like dump trucks everywhere, semis everywhere, and like I said, my whole entire drive home is basically an expressway, so you kind of run into a lot of traffic. So but that's why my drive to school is so short, is because I basically drive on an expressway the entire time. So Again, if I'm not directly looking at you, I apologize. Some of it may look like I'm looking at you, but I'm really not. I'm actually kind of looking at my mirror, but it ends up looking like I'm looking at my phone. You can kind of see I'm taking my mirror right now. But anyways, that's all that's been going on in my life. Just basically school, this new pump, messed up blood sugars, feeling like garbage, losing 8 or 10 pounds. Great, just great stuff has been happening. You know what? It's okay. I've gotten through every day with a pretty good attitude, and that's all that really counts. And I successfully made it through my 3rd or 4th semester of hygiene school. Basically, I've got one more semester, a couple board exams, and I will be a registered dental hygienist. Which to me is absolutely crazy to think that I'm gonna be a hygienist super soon, and I'm so excited to finally just do what I love. I guess it's been in the making for a while, and 2021 cannot come soon enough. I kind of got to laugh at my mom. She said, I'm getting we got all our outside Christmas decorations up, and I said, fine, I guess up here the weather's been decent, and we just put them up. The inside ones are not up yet. We're going to get that after Thanksgiving, but I had to laugh. She said, the sooner this year comes to a close, the better, so I can't wait for Christmas. I said, okay. I said, that is one very interesting way to look at it, but I can see her point, and I'm actually really excited for Christmas too. I don't know why. Something about the holidays, I don't think they're going to be the same, because I don't think, honestly, Christmas is going to be quite as cheery as it should be with this whole COVID situation. People are going to do what people are going to do, and it's up to us as an entire society to make the choice whether or not we social distance now to have a better 2021, or we just keep piling on the hospital systems and overwhelm our healthcare workers. So, just all depends on how things goes, but I know I'm doing my part to the best of my ability. Doesn't mean I'm going to live in my house like a total shut-in. I'm definitely not that way, and I don't like to be that way, but I don't go out when I don't need to. I don't do excessive running, and I made a big trip out of something here today, and I really won't be going out any other place. I for sure go out at least 2 to 3 times a week just to do errands, but I try to condense, if I'm doing errands in a certain town, I condense everything into one. I really only, the sunlight's awful. I only really go into stores where masks are required, and that's most of the places now are requiring masks just because they're understanding now and asymptomatic COVID spread can happen. So I really only go into stores that require a mask or that require physical distancing. I don't really hang around other people beyond my mother, and if I am hanging around other people beyond my mother, I am distanced from them and wearing a mask. The thing that I miss the most is just seeing somebody's face and smile, just because that's what I live for, I guess. So hopefully my smile on my camera today looks good and it doesn't look like there's a bunch of plaques sitting on there. I'm a naughty diabetic. I haven't ate all day, and it's now 3:28 my time, so woo! Naughty diabetic, you're not eating all day, but like I said, I've done it before. It's just, I'm at the point now where I'm getting hungry, which is kind of a good sign that my blood sugar's probably okay and not 550. But it was fine beforehand. But anyways, I am crossing county lines now. I have to laugh whenever they ask you questions for COVID screenings. It's have you traveled outside your state in the last X amount of days? And I say, no, I crossed the county line a lot. Because the county I'm in has a pretty high case rate. Well, it did at one time. I don't know if it does now, because whatever. But the county I live in, just north of it, our case rates are rising. But supposedly the area I'm in this state is the numbers are starting to drop. But an area that's near the county I was just in is on the rise, kind of where some more bigger cities are beyond just the city I was in. Like I said, I've been being very general about where my location is, just because I just want to keep myself safe and being in school and stuff. And I think once I graduate, I'll unveil where I went to school and kind of the area I live in. But you all know I live in the northern part of Wisconsin, so you can make up your own dream as to where I would be. but I am, for the vast majority of it, I'm pretty far away from big cities in this state, so you can kind of only imagine where things are in relationship to me. I'm not far from the Michigan border, but I'm also would have a little bit of a hike to the Michigan border as well. So yeah, so that's just about it. That's everything that's happening in my life, and I'm back in the county I live in now, and my drive home is approximately 8 to 10 minutes, and I will be home. Like I said, when you can do 70 the entire way, basically, it's super nice when you don't have to worry about things like that. So that's just about it that's going on with everything, and I will update you guys later when I do homework or something, but I'm kind of feel like I'm talking about absolutely nothing sitting in my vehicle. Like I said, I really am, and I really don't consider myself an interesting person. And you're probably laughing, thinking, geez, Maddie, you have a YouTube channel. I think you're pretty interesting. You're probably one of the most interesting people I know. And then I sit and think, like, if you would see what I do in my day-to-day life, it's pretty boring. I have a cat, 2 cats, and a dog. I have a mom, and I have a home, and I am a diabetic. I don't really find myself that interesting. I do homework. I do artwork, I guess, if you want to call that interesting. I guess I should say I'm interesting to other people, but me personally, I don't find myself interesting. I don't know why. I feel like I'm this boring old book, like nerdy book. Like, open me up and just read me, and all you could see is a plethora of vocabulary words. Plethora meaning many words, or plethora meaning a lot. So, yeah, random fact, I love big words, I love big vocabulary. So, another random word for you, loquacious. I talk too much. We know that Maddie is extremely loquacious. She gets that from her mother, who is extremely loquacious. Oh boy. So anyways, this video is getting awkward. I'm going to end it here. So I have a little clicker. I'm going to end it, and then I will see you guys afterwards. I just checked my blood sugar, and I've been running around all day, mind you, so I didn't take any insulin. But the basal works. My blood sugar is 118. Ah! If I had the Omnipod, my blood sugar right now would probably be like 285. Ah! I'm so happy I could cry, you guys. This is so exciting. 118? 118! It's like normal! It is normal. Y'all, your girl is back home, and I'm loving my T-Slim. Like I said, very apprehensive about it, but now that I finally have Dexcoms that I picked up, I'm going to go ahead and put one on and just set that up on my T-Slim. I did put the case on. I figured out how. I suspended my insulin, and then I took off the clip that goes into your infusion set, and then I was able to comfortably slide everything in here, so that is a way you can change the case out. But anyways, I have a purple case that I'll put on probably after, but I just put the black one on for now. I did get my purple case in the mail, so I have my insulin pump ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and we already put the transmitter in from my thing, so what she said for me to do was to go ahead and place the sensor code inside the pump, and then go ahead and have it communicate with my phone, and it'll be able to use both at the same time. You cannot use the receiver and the insulin pump at the same time with Tandem, and I know some of you have talked about that when you've talked to me about restarting your sensors and everything, but this shouldn't be an issue because you have to use a completely different restart method, which I may explain later. It's actually using a pop-out the transmitter method. So for now, we're just gonna, I think I'm gonna end up putting it somewhere on this side of my arm. I usually put my Dexcoms on my arm just because, okay, this shirt's a little tight, because I just get the best readings, and I've been finding that I really like it on the lower part of my arm, and my elbows constantly crack. So that's what I like, probably the best, to be honest with you, and I get the best readings there, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to put it on like normal. I have to clean this transmitter because it is, God knows, disgusting. So, and then I'm going to check my blood sugar manually and give myself something to eat, and then Control IQ will be on. Kind of crazy, like, I don't know what to think. So here's our sensor. I'm going to peel it up. Save the code for after. And I'm going to have to pick a spot where I want it on. It's going to be comfortable. So I think I'm going to go ahead and... Is it just me or the applicators look more slick? I don't know. It's probably just me, but I'm going to go ahead and place mine right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. 1, 2, 3. Push it in. Wait a few seconds. Hold, come on out. And there we have the Dexcom. Ready to go. So then what I do is, I really like the arms too for another reason, because I don't bleed. I don't know if you guys saw, I'll put the transmitter in first. I usually wait, like I was about to say before I was talking about the arms, I like to wait a minute or two because sometimes I'll get a gush of blood and like hit a capillary or something. So that is that, and it's ready to go. But you probably saw on my belly when I showed you my site. I'm gonna kind of angle it down here. So this is my abdomen where my pump is. It's kind of, I don't know if you guys can see very good. Do you see that dark mark? That is a huge bruise from an injection site I did last night. I put a needle in, and for whatever reason, it basically bruised on instant, and it like got a huge lump underneath, and it was like instant hematoma or instant bruise. I must have hit a capillary. So whenever I put my Dexcoms on my abdomen, I end up with that problem. So I don't want that problem. So now this is done. I guess I will go into my pump and I will put it in. So options, and then my CGM. And then I have to hit start sensor and then put the code in. So it has a screen here for me to enter the code. So 9311. Code confirmed. And start sensor, I'm going to hit yes. And it says sensor started. And then there's a pie graph here, and it will come up on my screen when it's ready. It's kind of cool. And then I'm going to go in here, and then it's going to, I go into my thing, and then I go to device settings and Bluetooth and hit mobile connection and hit on. The connection is on, so I'm gonna have to put a T-Connect together. I have an account, but I gotta get the app. So I got my T-Connect up and running now, so that'll log into my phone and it'll be ready to go. But I haven't ate anything all day. I'm like super tired. I have a huge headache again. Sinus congestion. I don't know what in God's green earth I have, but it's annoying. And I don't want to get a COVID test, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, do I just have a very mild case of Rona, or do I have a mild case of people what they call Rona, but coronavirus or SARS-CoV-2, COVID-19 disease? Do I have this mild case? I may. I don't 100% know. So, anyways, we'll get it figured out, and I'll get back to you when I'm ready to show you what it looks like. So, I kind of like on this that you can actually like scroll between like a 6, 3, 12, 24 hour graph, whatever you wish. I think once I get my setup, I think personally when I like to view it, I like to view it as like a 12 hours. So I think that's what I'll end up doing. But for now, I'll keep it at the 3 hour kind of graphing. My range is 70 to 160, so I'm comfortable with that. Once Control IQ is running, it'll be pretty much very similar, other than like 180 will kind of be the max, which is fine. I'm not complaining. But I did get it successfully hooked to my phone, and I didn't even have to touch anything, but it's basically giving me the same countdown on my phone. And then this T-Connect is just the actual mobile app. And like I said, I hope to be like doing tons more videos, but you can kind of see what that looks like. And then there's a notification on here, and it just says device paired. You may now use the T-Connect mobile app to view data from your pump. So I am up and running now, and now I'm going to check my blood sugar and I guess figure out what the heck I want to eat. I don't know what I want to eat. Excuse me. I have an apple in the fridge. Like, I haven't ate all day and I'm not really hungry, and that's terrible. I'm terrible. I'm like the most terrible thing when it comes to eating. But a lot of it was just not wanting to eat and stuff. So, anyways, I'll get things figured out. I guess I'll check my blood sugar on camera for you guys. I'll be cool and do that. We shall see what my blood sugar reads. I'm at 118. So, awesome. I'm happy with that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take insulin for an apple and some cottage cheese. That's all I really want. But it's only going to be like 20 carbs, so I figure that's a good way to kind of start easing my way into this. So, I'm going to bolus, enter my blood sugar, and it's 118. And because my target's 100, it wants to give me a correction for above 118, but I don't correct, like, that's normal, so I'm going to say no. And then I'm going to enter 20 carbs, just because auto mode will come in, and it wants to give me 2.5 units, so I'm going to hit yes, and then I'm going to confirm, and confirm again. Bolus initiated. I just took my first bolus with you guys. So exciting. Wow. And it's requesting, and it's starting. It's kind of cool how that does that. And I can hear it. That's so weird. It's like, this is weird. I don't know what to think. Other than I want to cry because my blood sugars are so normal. I took it at about 5:30. The only thing is that I have to get used to is like with the Control IQ, they leave like the IOB as like 5 hours, and I know that's not true for me. My IOB doesn't go anything higher than like 2.5 hours, so then I just kind of keep things in mind. But it's delivering the insulin, so I don't think I'll pre-bolus just to get used to it, but once I have my monitor, then I'll be able to, like, I'll feel more comfortable pre-bolusing, but because this is a new pump, I'll probably eat pretty soon, so apples really don't bother my blood sugar that bad anyway, so I was gonna go eat, but your girl just gave her first bolus. You have no idea how excited I am. Like, you probably can see the look on my face, like, yeah. Guys, I got so busy, I forgot to show you what I got from Target. Plus, there's one more thing I have to grab. But I found this journal, and it's called Your Brightest Life Journal by Carolyn Keslow-Zook. And basically, it's some sort of journal that kind of, I don't know, it looked like it was really unwinding and positivity, and we need more, like, clean, inspirational things in our lives. So I bought that. These sticker packs came two. Anyways, they came two for $1. So this one had this one with, I want to say, this one. So these are like all Explore ones. And then this one's like Ride the Wave, Radiate Positivity, Nice to Eat You. These were cute too. And this is like, Hello, I'm hungry, too hot, handle. My mom loves this one. I don't care. I love my avocados, keeping that guy. And then this one's funny. This one says, Where's the food? WTF, fries before guys, you wish. Calories, smalleries, and I want pizza, not your opinion. And then these two are a little bit more different too, but I like these glasses with the city in there. Yeah, nah. Smile, you are enough. Like, yes, these are like, I don't know, they're just aesthetically pleasing stickers, so I got them. And then I also got these I've been using. I don't know if you noticed in my hair today, I had like the thicker hair ties. They're kind of like coils and kind of like these rubbery, thicker cord-like hair ties, and I love them. They're comfortable. They don't rip my hair out. So I bought another pack of these, but they're more of the mini sized. They're not like the super large size ones. So I've got another 6 of these to play with in addition to the 6 or 7 that I have up there. So anyways, I think this one will kind of match my hair color a little bit, y'all. It's kind of a red tone, so I think this one would go good with, I think they'd all go good with my hair, but I feel like this one's gonna like match my hair in certain lighting, so it might blend in. And then I found my mom, I'm gonna open my, so then I found this, and I thought my mom would like it. It's a flamingo with reindeer horns, like, and you stick it in a planter, and it's just a Christmas flamingo, and I said, if you don't like it, I'll keep it for my room. So this is what I got from Target. Not a lot, but, you know, just little things and stuff, and just wanted something cute, and I think this was $5, but I don't know, I really just, it looks like it's going to be fun. So anyways, that's what I got from Target. I took a shower, and that went fine. It really isn't that bad with the tube pump. You just got to disconnect, put a plug in, and suspend your insulin and reconnect when you're done. But I just wanted to show you my blood sugars are absolutely fantastic. So you can kind of see I went a little bit lower earlier, but it was actually a false low. I was actually in the 80s, not in the 60s, but I just started my new sensor. But you can tell the Control IQ is working, and anywhere it's red is an area of time where it's suspended the insulin. So when the sensor was getting a little wonked out, there was a time for approximately, looks like about 15 to 20 minutes where I had my insulin suspended, and then it redid it. But it's super awesome to just see everything kind of full out like that. And then my blood sugars I accidentally over-treated that. I kind of took a little bit of insulin, thinking maybe I would go a little low, or not insulin, I took something to eat. But she definitely was right with the Control IQ. Like, there's not a huge need for you to justify eating a ton when you're a little on the lower side for your glucose. So just be aware of that. And then my blood sugar kind of went up a little bit, but then it kind of caught it and kind of cranked up my basal, and now it's kind of leveling it off kind of slowly. I believe right now it has me on a slight decrease because it's predicting my blood sugar is going to be below, what is the target for Control IQ, like 112.5 or something kind of nuts like that within the next 30 minutes. So it's predicting far in advance. Now, I just started Control IQ, and this has only been doing this for approximately 2 hours here. So as the days go on and as it learns me and my body, I guess you could say, and how my blood sugars trend, it'll only get better at predicting. Right now, it's doing a lot of fidgeting around, figuring out when should I suspend, when should I increase, decrease. You know, it's doing it within its normal rule limit to what its algorithm is designed, but it truly will get more and more balanced to where it'll have a much better prediction as time goes on. But so far, so good. I'm loving this insulin pump. Like, I feel like I have my life back again, and like, I would have never imagined that I would have access to something like this, I guess. And I never would have imagined me switching to this pump at all. But I love it. And I have a pretty purple case I will put on at some point. But for now, I did find a way to put the black case on by disconnecting it, suspending the insulin, and popping it in. And then when I do change my pump out on Thursday, I will go ahead and put the new one on. It charges super fast, just so you guys know. The Tandem T-Slim X2, if you charge it when you're showering or whatever, it takes 1 minute to charge a full percent, and I only had it charged for 10 minutes while I was taking my shower, and I went from 80 to 90%. They recommend, like my trainer had said, to basically charge it when you conveniently have it off, or like me, I'm actually sitting at my computer on my floor because I feel like being on my floor right now, but I have my MacBook Air up, and I'm going to go ahead and basically do a case study and get this last thing done for my dental pharmacology class for the week, minus a quiz that'll open up tomorrow. We have an online learning plan this week because of Thanksgiving, and then I believe we have 3 more in-face classes, or in-person, 3 more in-face classes, which are all on WebEx based. They're all online. So we basically, it's kind of like Zoom for school. And you basically just hop on and you can still participate and see people, but you're all from your own home or whatever. And yeah. So the last day is the final exam, but I technically only have like 2 more actual classes. And this week we're working on like anti-anxiety, anti-seizure meds. So been doing a lot of reading on that. Last week, believe it or not, was all on what you guys know is all the diabetes agents and stuff like that. Talked about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. As a matter of fact, that's what my quiz is on. And then also endocrinology agents would be like thyroid, birth control, and then like the adrenal glands, so like adrenal corticosteroids and like Addison's disease versus Cushing's disease and stuff like that, and the meds that we treat with those for those patients. So anyways, this control IQ is crazy how well this is working. Like I've barely had this pump for like 12 hours now, and it's like that's nuts to me to think that I'm loving it this much already. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I really appreciate your support, and I sure hope to get more videos out for you guys. Just breathe with me and bear with me. Hopefully tomorrow being Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of online schooling, but I'm also going to just try to crank out YouTube videos that I've had up, get these up, and just get rolling and see how much more content I can create. And it's not like I'm trying to do a rat race and trying to make content just for the sake of making content. It's because I really want to get back to you guys and do this because I love this. I love sharing my experiences, and like I said, I think my experiences benefit other people, and I have to also figure out what I'm going to do with my extra Omnipod supplies. I don't think that they'll take them back, and I don't expect them to take them back just because obviously they were shipped here in sterile containers and they were never taken out, but like I understand that they may not be able to just take them back with safety concerns and stuff. But hopefully somebody or something can use them because they don't benefit me anymore, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to diss Omnipod, and so I'm going to go more in depth about that. I'm not dissing them as a pump. I'm not dissing them as a pump company. They are an absolutely fantastic company, but it took me a while to really figure out that this wasn't the pump for me. And, you know, sometimes it takes going through something like this to really see what works and what doesn't. Should I have gotten it off it sooner? Maybe a little bit after I was experiencing a lot of technical problems with it, and that's not my fault. Maybe if the technical problems weren't there, maybe I would have been fine and would have had the awesome control like I have now. But I would have had to wait for their Horizon system, and then that would have been more of a closed loop. This is basically like a hybrid closed loop at this point. Like, I'm letting the pump basically run the show, and there's only certain aspects where I override it. Number 1, if I'm super high. Number 2, if I don't think it's reading right. Or number 3, if I know there's a certain meal that it says, oh, deliver 6 units, but you know only if you need 4. Like, yeah, like basically the pump is running the show. And then I obviously take my normal bolus as calculated. So, I'm definitely thankful I switched to this, and then it also compats with the G6. Like, I don't have to worry about having like 2 separate devices anymore. Like, the pump's always attached to me. Even if I don't have my phone, I have the device. So again, I'll go into more of my pros and cons with Tandem as I basically go through everything. But I'm currently at 119 and stable with an insulin on board of half a unit. So basically it has me on a lower basal profile again right now, just to like kind of level things off. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you guys have any suggestions for me of what to do with my Omnipod dash pumps, please let me know. I don't think I'm going to be able to return them to the company, even though that's where I'd like them to go to, considering that they're the manufacturers, but I don't think that's going to happen. But if you have any ideas, let me know. And thank you again for watching, and until next time for another video. Blah, blah, blah. Take care. God bless. Be kind, spread positivity, and be thankful. Peace, love, and well-being to all y'all. Good blood sugars to all of you, even if you're non-diabetic. Don't become a diabetic. That's what I keep telling people. I told the guy in Costco today, I said, if you can help it, don't ever become a diabetic. I said, type 1, you really can't control. And in type 2, in some aspects, you can't either. But I said, if you can't be a diabetic, try to avoid it. Don't get type 1 diabetes. And I'm talking to all you non-diabetics or caretakers of diabetics. Do not get type 1 diabetes. It is, I mean, you can't prevent it, but I just keep teasing people, don't get it. So be kind, spread positivity, be thankful, don't get diabetes. Bye, everyone.